What's up, Lyfe Cast family? It's Lennon here. I'm back with another awesome video for you guys. Today, this video is going to talk about how practicing Principle 2, be still, helps increase Principle 1, emotional intelligence. What? You mean it builds off each other? Yeah, something like that. All right, so these principles, they're designed to kind of build off one another, and you'll see they all become one in a sense. But being still, that practice can really help develop our emotional intelligence in a number of ways. When I say be still, it's exactly what it sounds like. Unplug yourself, right? Get rid of the hustle and bustle from that stressful world that we live in. The bills, the kids, the health, the pets, the job, right? We all know there's a ton of stressors out there, and we all probably deal with them on a day-to-day basis, and society has become that. It's very fast-paced and it's very high-stressed. What happens is that it kind of goofs up the homeostasis, or how our body wants to be. Our nervous system, very, very complex. Our brain, very, very complex. We don't know a lot about them. Even the people who know the most don't know a ton about them yet. Few things that we do know. The nervous system, right? There's a few different components and they do different things, but the two components that we're going to talk about today are the sympathetic nervous system and the parasympathetic nervous system. Fingers, I always bring the fingers. Basically, these are designed as counterbalances for one another. The sympathetic nervous system is the part of our nervous system that handles high stress situations, a place where you have to fight or flight, right? You got to get out of there. You are in danger. Your safety is in danger, and it's developed as a defense mechanism as we were coming up hunter and gatherers with, not nearly the technology of the guns and things we have today. An animal or potential predator, sees us as a very easy target. Something has to kick in, deliver that message that we got to either get out of there or we got to fight for our life. That's how it kind of came up. And so it's very necessary. What we need to understand, though, is that creates this huge stress response in the body. And when we kind of keep this part of our nervous system in overdrive, this fight or flight, fight or flight, fight or flight, that stress response is constant. And what happens inside the body during that stress response is creating inflammation, chronic low-grade inflammation throughout the whole entire system. And what they're finding about this chronic low-grade inflammation is that almost all diseases, all pathologies, right? They live and have this one thing in common, that they just love this chronic inflammation in the body. Heart disease, cancer, a number of autoimmune diseases. I mean, there literally is a list of diseases that have root causes in inflammation. So we know, man, that is a huge component in trying to get healthier. Overall, as a society, we're becoming more ill, we're becoming sickly, right? Though we live longer due to medicine and surgeries, we also are sicker and getting less and less healthy, and that's unfortunate. What is super cool is that there's a counterbalance to that, like I said, that parasympathetic nervous system, right? And that's that nervous system that deals with the situations when we're calm, when we need to be resting, recovering, digesting our food, right? That's all very important stuff to the human experience and to life. So, we needed our nervous systems to be able to kind of handle that stimulus as well. And so our parasympathetic was developed. Well, for too many people right now, the parasympathetic is way down and the sympathetic is way up. And that distance, that separation is really what being still can help bridge that gap, if you will, okay? And when we get that gap, a lot of other things start to happen. So as we remove ourselves from the hustle, bustle, fast-paced, super stressful life, whether it's for just a few minutes or 20 or 30 minutes, depending on what your practice is, what you're comfortable and how it fits in your life, we see great benefits in the balancing out of those two parts of our nervous system. In addition to the nervous system, we see brain activity going on, and left brain activity is spiked during this sympathetic overdrive, and it's this analytical part of us. And then we have this right brain that's that more kind of creative part, not dealing with all the logic and the stress. And we see that that becomes out of balance too, where the left brain is dominant during this sympathetic overdrive, the right brain and the parasympathetic systems are down and depleted. We start to do some of these practices and that changes, and it's great because it doesn't take a long time. Okay, so what can we do? Prayer is a great one that people use. Meditation, mindfulness, visualization, those are all great techniques that we can use just to step back. Different kind of just breathing exercises. There's a bunch of different ways that we can take a step back and kind of unplug from the world. And it's very, very beneficial. Even taking a nap just to a certain extent. But the biggest thing that we can do is to just unplug. So whatever we choose to do, whether it's being mindful, whether it's meditating, whether it's visualizing, whether it's prayer, this time of being still brings balance to our system. This also enables us to control our emotions better. What? How? When you're less stressed, you handle your emotions better, do you not? I mean, let's be real. Let's talk about this. If you're in a high stressful situation for some reason and someone comes to you with the most benign whatever thing, have you ever been there where you were just like, ah, and you screamed at them, right? Doesn't high stress situations make all this other stuff way worse? Absolutely it does, and we all know that. We've been there. So if we look at that, reducing that stress, reducing that fight mentality, or that flight, not dealing with the emotions, right? When we can bring that balance, we then have more capability to calmly appreciate those emotions without reacting. As we get better and better, not only do we have the ability and the tools to appreciate and not react, we don't experience these super high or these super emotional extremes, highs and lows. And so that's really, in short, how being still can affect and help your emotional intelligence. Because when you're in a situation that's going to require a high degree of emotional intelligence, the ability to have all systems balanced, right? So we're not too fight or flight, and we're not too passive, and we can think through things logically with empathy, right? Self-regulating and having good social experiences, right? Like not talking about things when we're angry. Now we're kind of seeing this interconnected loop, I hope, is that practicing being still really makes you better at so many things in life, including increasing your emotional intelligence infinitely. All right. That's a quick video about how being still affects emotional intelligence. There's a lot more to it. It can be complex yet made very simple. I would love to kind of apply it to your lives. So please give me some feedback. How could you take how could I take what we just talked about and help you apply it to your life? And I'd love to make a video addressing some of those things from you guys, the fam. Lyfe Cast family is what it's about, right? The tribe. We got to build this thing. So give me your feedback. If you like what I talk about, share it with your friends, share it with your family, whether that's online or even just talking to them, right? I want to spread this movement and make people as healthy and happy as possible. So let's get the word out. Let's participate in this, guys. Let me know what you want me to talk about in regards to any of the principles, but this video in particular, being still, emotional intelligence, kind of how they go together. I'd love to kind of get deeper into it and explain it to you. But with how it fits in your life to help. All right, that's it. I'm getting out of here. TGI Friday. I'm going to go have a blast, continue doing what I love. I hope you guys do what you love. And as always, it is much love. I'm out.